fall through the keys, наоборот. Нет, я не... Ты чё? Батарея съелась. Все съело батарея. Батарея. Ешь меня. Так говорят правильно. Ешь меня. Эй. Юр. Закрик. Жавари. Горячий, вкусный, горячий, круглый. Кишка. Эй, не понял, в чем проблема-то? Спелли, круглый. Грызный. Прям вот это самое. Эй. Спасибо, Рахмат. Я что-то вообще задубел опять. Носом. Ладно, да. Да. Танго клока. который сбил. Наверное, фрустрация. Сложно. Так это есть. Да, наоборот.
Я хочу вам сказать, что я вакцинировался 3 раза и еще буду.
Зачем? Я здоров.
Я человек законопослушный, у меня есть QR-код.
Я не думаю, что какой-нибудь нормальный, разумный человек может считать QR-коды эффективной мерой.
Так уж случилось, что этот год сильно слишком разделил нас. В каждой постели, в целой квартире слишком много разных нас.
Послушай, никого не слушай. Это общее. Личное дело.
Я за.
Я против. Может, выход тут есть?
Today we're going to part one of the most iconic shoes in the entire world. We've had tons of comments, DMs, and emails asking to do these shoes because there's so much hype behind them and so many unanswered questions about what's really inside a pair of wooden clogs. So let's cut them in half and find out. Now let's go over the shoe information. So the brand is Clog, the style is the Holland Hollow Aspen Toe Low, the color is wood, they weigh 3 pounds each, they retail for $30, and they're made in Holland. Now let's go over the information that we can gather about these shoes before we cut them in half, starting with the upper. So the upper is actually made out of wood, and it's a full grain wood, and you can tell that it's aspen because of the way that it is. And the really cool thing about this is it's a single piece of wood that wraps all the way around the vamp to the back of the shoe. And that's really nice because you don't have any overlap or any stitching that can cause any potential fail points or any weak points. Next to the lining, so the lining is made out of wood, and that can be good and bad because wood is so porous, it's going to be really breathable and cool. But if you're planning on wearing these as a winter shoe, you might want to get the straw-lined version to give you a little bit more insulation. Next to the outsole, so the outsole is wood, and the thing I don't like about this is the grain runs parallel to the length of the shoe instead of running perpendicular. And the good thing about that is you have that lateral strength, so you're not going to accidentally break these shoes in half. But the problem is you don't have that perpendicular grip, so that if you're going to use these for hiking, they're not going to grip very well, or if you're in ice or snow, they're not going to grip very well. Next, moving to the insoles, we'll take out the shoe trees here. So the insole is made out of wood, and just like cork and leather, wood is eventually going to compress the shape of your foot, giving you a very specific and personal footprint inside of your shoe. And then onto the midsole and some of the things we don't know. So I don't really know what the midsole is made out of. I'm guessing it's wood, but we won't really know until we get it cut in half. And that's why I like these videos, because there's probably some stuff in here that we didn't expect. I'm curious to see if there's a shank in here and what kind of shank it is. Next to the tongue, so this is a fully gusseted wooden tongue. If you're using these for work, you're not going to have any debris or water or any kind of particles slip in through the tongue and get into your socks unless it's around the heel. Next to the toe, so this is an EU safety certified wood toe, and it's not going to be quite as protective as a steel toe, but it is going to give you a lot more protection than a regular pair of sneakers or a soft toe boot. And the really nice thing about a wood toe is, like, let's say you're in the back of the shop and you drop a piece of steel on your toe, it's going to give you some protection, but it might split or crack the wood. But the really nice thing is, if you do get a split, you just run a little bead of glue along there, seal that gap up, or if there's a chunk taken out of it, just get a little bit of wood filler, fill that in, and it'll look as good as new. Next to the maintenance of these shoes, so just like a nice pair of leather shoes or boots, you're going to want to use shoe trees, and it's for basically the same reasons as leather, because clogs, because they're made of wood and it's so porous, the humidity in the air can affect how the wood behaves and changes, especially if you're in a climate that the humidity and temperature shifts radically from season to season. You're going to want to put some shoe trees in there to help maintain that shape and prevent it from splitting and shrinking and warping. Then onto the fit, feel, and look. So these are pretty uncomfortable right off the bat until you get your feet broken into them. I definitely wouldn't recommend buying a brand new pair of these, throwing them on, and going and doing a 12-hour work day. You'd probably regret it. I actually really like the look of these. They have that classic timeless look that's been around for centuries, and it's hard to beat this silhouette. It's the classic clog silhouette. And the really nice thing about this is if you end up hating this style of this fisherman hook toe here, a few years from now, all you got to